Hi there everybody, Ardir here. I want to talk about the best decks to start in Scholomance. So, I have 3 decks for you guys that I'm sure you're gonna like. I personally love them. So, the first one that I want to start with is the good old classic SMorg Hunter. I know I'm using the Sylvanas portrait, so I'm not super accurate because Rexar is supposed to be Smorg. Let's change it right now. Okay, so this deck is very good if you're encountering a lot of druids, if you're encountering a lot of tempo mages, a lot of slow decks in general. You're just able to beat them with this hunter deck by just rushing them down. What this deck wants to do is basically just play 1-drops, pressure, and then you have Freezing Trap Pressure Plate together with Hyena Alpha to push more damage. You have Eaglehorn Bow, you have Kill Command to finish your opponent, and you have Voracious Reader to draw a lot of cards. As you can see, this deck doesn't have any legendaries, so it's an easy craft as well. If you want to spice things up, the one legendary I can recommend in this deck is Dragonbane, one of the most powerful hunter legendaries probably ever made, and definitely has a place in this deck if you want to add it. What would you remove? You would either want to remove a Toxic Reinforcements because the card has diminishing returns if you draw it mid-game. It's insane on turn 1, scales down afterwards. So I saw a lot of people playing only 1 Toxic Reinforcements and then just hoping that they draw it on turn 1. You can also cut one of the Adorable Infestations, up to you. Adorable Infestation is very powerful. It gives you +1/+1 and the 1/1 and the 1/1 in your hand. And if you look at it for 1 mana, it's a pretty good deal. It's not like amazing, it's not game winning, but it's pretty solid when you pair it with the Initiate, who gets Spell Burst, gain attack, or with the Wolpertingers. And this card is really not only cute, but also powerful together with the Scavenger's Ingenuity. It just gives you a better alley cat, pretty much. So yeah, I recommend the Dragonbane instead of Toxic Reinforcements if you want to. But you can definitely play without it, and it's a very powerful, effective, fun deck. At the same time, if you don't want to run double Pressure Plate and you want to spice things up, because a lot of people right now already expect Freezing Trap and Pressure Plate from this deck, just cut the Pressure Plate and add an explosive. You are the master of your hunter deck. You want to build it and play it however you want. If you want, you can even play Felmo. It's a very powerful 2-drop. You can cut Companion, add Felmo. Can cut an Adorable Infestation. Maybe play 1 less Secret. And then you can also run the new card. Wait, where is it? Oh yeah, Demon Companion. Yeah, this one. It's a very powerful card. It's basically an animal companion scaled for 1 mana. And sometimes this deck wants to run lower on the curve. Again, you build your hunter however you want to. I feel like this deck's curve is already pretty low. So Animal Companion feels better than the Demon Companion. But you do you. Okay, let's go to the next deck. The other thing I like a lot, and it's one of the most fun decks that I watched and played, is the Gibberelling Druid. Basically, it revolves around Gibberling, who has Spellburst, summon another Gibberling. Spellburst basically only works once when you play your first spell after you have the minion in play. But here's the curious thing. If you copy a minion with Spellburst, or if you resurrect it or whatever, he comes back with Spellburst. So the Spellburst Gibberling is going to summon another Spellburst Gibberling, and then you can keep playing spells, and you can get the full board of Gibberlings, and then buff them and win the game. This deck is pretty much all that. It's a lot of cheap spells like Moonfire, the new Old Innervate, Lightning Bloom, very powerful card, one of the most powerful cards in the set. The classic OG Innervate, and then you still run Adorable Infestation, the card that we also saw being played in Hunter. Nature Studies to just reduce your stuff and go for a more powerful combo the next turn. You can also sometimes discover one of the combo pieces, but the main reason why you play the Studies is just to spend mana now to make your next turn better. Reinforcements, which basically gives you a 2/2 or just +2 health. Sometimes +2 health is better. You don't always want more minions because Gibberling already gives you that, more minions. He looks so cute in golden, by the way. Power of the Wild for the buff, Rising Winds for token or draw, exactly what this deck needs. Again, we have the Voracious Reader making an appearance. I think Voracious Reader is part of every single deck that I'm talking about today. It's just a very powerful card of the expansion. It's one of the most powerful neutrals, one of the most worth crafting cards in the expansion, and just super solid. It's not ultra broken, it's just very solid card. And then we have Fungal Fortunes to help you draw cards, Savage Lord to end games, Soul of the Forest to just maintain a board that you managed to build, Violet Teacher in case you need some extra juice, and Glowfly Swarm. This is optional. You can play without Glowfly Swarm. If you don't want to craft it and you don't have it, just play without it, it's fine. Go for like Second Teacher. As long as you play good cards, that's the rule of Hearthstone, you're probably gonna be fine. Like, out of 10 games, you're gonna draw a one-off, like, what, 2-3 times? Maybe not even that. I had tournaments where I wasn't really sure of, like, what the last card should be. And then I was, like, thinking days and days for, like, what the last card should be. And in the end, I ended up in, like, 10 rounds of the tournament drawing it once. So, it matters, but, like, you shouldn't overthink it. Just try to play it and, like, figure out on the spot what you like. So, for the last spot, I would recommend either Wrath, Bees. Okay, just play a good card. Wrath, Bees, or Swipe would be my recommendations from what I'm seeing available in the Druid deck. You can also play Crystal Power. Crystal Power is very good removal. 2 damage, 1 mana is not amazing, but it's pretty good. It's basically the old Holy Smite. Now the new Holy Smite deals 3 damage, so that's even better. But this can also heal you, which probably will never use in this aggro deck. This deck, if you don't end the game, it's going to be pretty rough. So you don't really care about your life total, and you should use it as a resource totally. Okay, the last deck that I want to talk about, and probably my favorite deck out of Scholomance, is a Passage Rogue that ends the curve at Vendetta. It's a pretty crazy deck. It really is. So it all is built around Secret Passage. This deck hit #1 legend on the Chinese server. Chinese server having more players than Europe and like than other servers for sure. So it's not easy to get the rank 1 legend there. It's running double preparation, but you can also cut it to 1. It's running double shadow step, double backstab. These are musts. Stunner is really good, and the Secret Passage overall is like amazing. Can you play without the Secret Passage? Yes, but I don't recommend it. If you don't have Hanar and you don't want to craft Hanar, just cut Hanar, play an extra secret, keep it double prep, and you'll be fine. Hanar is just there to win you a percentage of the games, where you just play Hanar, they don't have an answer, you play a secret, and then you go crazy. But I would rather not play Hanar and still play secrets than just cut the secrets if I don't have Hanar. I feel like secrets are more important. And this deck already wants to play double Dirty Ticks for sure, wants to play at least 1 Plagiarize, and kind of wants to play 1 Ambush just to diversify things. If you don't have Hanar, I would play 2nd Plagiarize. It's fine. It's totally fine. Eviscerate, another very powerful card you can always play in probably any rogue deck to replace a card you don't have. Dragon's Horde is really good because on average it gives you a very good minion. Also, it activates your Vendetta, probably the main reason why the card is in the deck. Questing, Miscreant, and Edwin are the bread and butter of this deck. Cult Neophyte is one of the new cards that can be played in a lot of aggro decks, so it's also like a very good craft in Scholomance. And it's very good to Shadow Step it. It's very good against Druid, like it ruins their curve. So the Druid tries to play Nature Studies to quasi-reduce, let's say, Overgrowth, and then prepares for like an Overgrowth, and then go like Innervate. No. You play Cool Neophyte, and the Druid is gonna go Hero Power Pass. So a lot of the games, you play Neophyte on 2, and then on 3, you go Questing, Shadow Step Replay, or like Shadow Step Replay Edwin, and game is over. One Thief, very powerful card. Rogue and Mage both want to play it, both love it. Discovering a Mage spell is pretty good. You can get stuff like Counter Spell, other good secrets. Secrets, which also work with your Hanar if you choose to play it. So, it has a lot of synergy. It can give you like finishing damage. It's just a very powerful card. Feral Cat, also just like solid 1-drop and activates your Vendetta. Oh, One Thief also activates your Vendetta. So you have a lot of Vendetta activators. You have to play double Vendetta in this deck. 100%. This deck just functions really well. And when you think of like every single card, it makes sense in the deck. You can always cut some of the secrets. You can always cut the prep. You could play Eviscerate if you want to. I don't recommend Sap simply because Blackjack Stunner is a Sap. on a 1-2 body for 1 mana cheaper and makes their minion 1 mana more expensive. And I think playing both stunners and sap is an overkill, so I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't really go there. But other than that, this deck is like super nice, super smooth. A lot of players brought it at the highest level of Hearthstone playing Grandmasters. I didn't because I had a different banning strategy, but I still like it a lot, and it's probably the most powerful deck from the ones that I showed you today. The other two decks, even though they're not amazing in competitive play, I still think they're going to be pub stompers. They're going to crush ladder. I saw people playing in top 100 legend, top 50 legend with the Gibberelling Druid, and I saw Hunter in like even top 25, I think, if I can remember correctly. So both decks are just pub stomping. This deck as well, but this deck is also tournament viable. Again, if you don't have some of the cards, feel free to make some changes. I feel like you kind of need Edwin, but Edwin is one of the most worth legendaries to have in like the history of the game. He won like almost every single world championship. It's always going to be played. So I recommend crafting Edwin. And Hanar, very good card as well. Like I think you're not going to waste your dust if you don't have Hanar and want to craft it. It's a safe investment in my opinion. So yeah, these are my Scholomance starter decks. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this. This channel is mostly Battlegrounds content, but I love Constructed and I'm going to do more Constructed content as well in the future. I'm trying to just diversify my content Hearthstone related and show you guys what are the best decks and strategies in Hearthstone. Thank you for watching and I hope you have a lovely day. See ya.